Hey guys, MC Mura here. So we're doing things a little bit differently with this guide, where my usual guides I go over each normal and then each special and what they do. This time we're gonna tackle them from like a top-down approach, where we're gonna talk first about the game plan and then we're gonna trickle down to the specifics on how you can execute that game plan. So if you're just picking up Street Fighter 6, or if you're not familiar with Chun-li, who is Chun-li and what do you want to do with this character? Pretty much the highlights of Chun-li is that she got really good movement, her walk speed is really good, really fast, some of the fastest in the game, both forward and backwards. She have some pretty good normals and she have a really great fireball. So you put all of that together and you can deduce that Chun-li is a control character in Street Fighter 6. The thing about Chun-li is that you control the pace of the match, you approach at your own terms. And that is where she really shines. You pretty much throw that fireball, and since it's on screen, it's slow moving, you will try to bait a reaction out of the opponent and then punish them for that reaction, get a knockdown, and once you get the knockdown, you can apply strike through pressure. Or if they don't do anything, you go in. So I can like throw my light fireball, I now got the approach, I got the drive rush, crush behind drive rush, now I got the knockdown. Say that Ryu, instead of doing that, he maybe is gonna try to jump because he knows that I may throw the fireball. So I wait for him, I anti-air, now I got my knockdown, now I got my in. Or maybe instead, Ryu is gonna try to throw a fireball of his own, right? He's gonna try to engage with the fireball war with me because he knows that Chun-li like to throw fireballs. So I have a lot of anti-fireball options. I can go for like Hazanshu, and if I call that right, I get the knockdown. She have multiple other ways of going through fireballs. Maybe Ryu is gonna try to push the issue and go for a drive rush of his own, but then I check him, I get the combo, I get the knockdown, and now I start to initiate my pressure. Maybe the opponent is not gonna go for something so committal and instead is just gonna try to walk forward. Hey, I got better walk speed, I got better neutral, so it's like I forced you into the close range engagement where I will shine. Like if we got the Ryu to play a ground game with us like that, where he's going for normals, he's trying to walk forward, etc., Chun-li will win because she have faster movement and the crouching medium kick is insane in the neutral in general. She have really good movement. So the idea in its entirety is like what I described. You pretty much set the base, or even if you're low on drive, you pretty much wait it out, stall it out with fireball until you have enough drive gauge so that you are able to engage. That is the game plan, and then we're gonna have moved over to the specifics. So let's now go over the backbone of Shun's entire game plan, and that is the fireball. You would think that it's movement, it is her lightning legs, it's spinning bird kicks, all of these iconic moves, but in Street Fighter 6, in all honesty, fireball is what makes Chun-li's entire game plan comes around. And Chun-li have a very unique fireball for Street Fighter 6 standard. It's a charge fireball, so this means that you have to hold back for about a second, and then you press forward and punch, and obviously light, medium, heavy, or two punches will give you light, medium, heavy, or OD. And there is a lot of what you would expect in a regular fireball. Like the light version will travel the slowest, where the heavy version will travel the fastest, and that is true, but notice that the distance is different. Light fireball travels about 90% of the screen, where the heavy will travel about half screen away, and obviously if you use the OD, it's gonna be a little bit faster and it travels full screen. But Chun-li has a very unique fireball in terms of Street Fighter 6. For most characters, usually what happens, say with Ken and his Hadokens, is that you would throw a light Hadoken. And this light Hadoken have 16 frame startup, the light travels the slowest, but it's 49 total frames. I throw the heavy Hadoken, the startup is a little bit faster, the travel speed is faster, there is more recovery, so that we're at 49 total frames. And that is typically what it is. Like Ryu also will have like light, medium, heavy, different speeds, different startups, but the overall frames is the same. Chun-li has very unique fireballs in that the light fireball, for example, have 47 total frames, where the heavy fireball have 43 total frames. It's a charged fireball, so you would expect it to be good, but 43 frames is really good. Like, that is almost approaching a Guile Sonic Boom. This is the best projectile in the game, frame data wise, after Guile Sonic Boom. Right, so Guile entire game plan is about booms, and Chun-li is kind of approaching him. But the best fireball by far is obviously gonna be the light, because Chun-li's light fireball travels very slowly, and because it travels very slowly, it is harder for them to perfect parry, but also it gives Chun-li absurd frame advantage. This fireball I just threw, see this? She's gonna be like plus 25 or something after this. I'm plus 25 from this range, and because she have superior walk speed, you pretty much get to press. Like, they happen to block this, you get to press. You are so plus that they pretty much have to respect what you're gonna do after, right? And that is what makes it so strong. And because it travels really far, you can pretty much use it to control your opponent or approach at your own term. You can use it to stall. One thing I talked about earlier is that this projectile is really hard to perfect parry. It is deceptively hard as well. By just the fact that it is slow, they kind of have to manually time the parry, which makes it hard, but also the animation is deceptive. Like, this website is called Street Fighter 6 Frames. I highly recommend you check it out. So you can check like the hitboxes for each of the fireball, each move and whatever. So notice this, right? This is Chun-li's light Kikoken. If you're actually paying enough attention, you will notice that the actual hitbox doesn't exactly match the animation. There is a little bit of blue here, but the actual hitbox is a little bit behind it. If you see what I mean, right? So like there is this area here where it looks like the fireball should hit, but it's not. Right? And that is what makes it really difficult to perfect parry. And because it's really difficult to perfect parry, you're gonna be able to use this as a shield and approach the opponent. And at 47 total frames, it is not that easy for them to jump over you. Now, this is a charged fireball. And unlike Ken, who can like walk forward and then Hadouken, you can't do that with Chun-li. Most Chun-li players, unfortunately, will walk backwards like that and then throw the fireball. And that's a massive tell. And that's where you're gonna have to learn like how to hide the charge. Typically, like you will throw a normal or like whiff stuff, not do anything. Maybe you just like walk back slightly like that and then like let it go. You can't be super obvious with it because if it's a charge, like if they're paying attention, they know when you have charge, so maybe that's when they try to jump. But still, at 47 total frames, that is still like really, really good. And one thing that you got also to keep in mind is that the hurt box is not that bad on startup. So it's like, this is where the fireball is on screen and it's already a little bit disjointed, right? The hitbox is not that bad. Like if we compare it to say where is he? Say like compare it to like a Ken fireball, for example. Verify me, please. Special moves. Fetching frames, right? So if you check out like Ken, for example, his hurt box is a little bit upwards, so he's a little bit easier to jump over, unlike Chun-li. So it's not that easy of a projectile to jump, and it pretty much sets up the entire pace of the match. With Chun-li, to keep it short, you wanna throw that light fireball and then approach the opponent. I highly recommend you check out a player called Gowishi, or it will be written as like Go1, and he pretty much has the perfect Chun-li game plan. That's pretty much what you want to do. But Mura, the opponent, is not falling for a lot of actions. They are playing from a close distance. If they are playing for a close distance like that, then the heavy fireball is really, really good. This is 11 frame startup, it's 43 frame total, it's really fast, it's really hard to perfect parry because the startup is super short. Like 11 frame startup, that is super short, and it's 43 total frames, so it's quick, right? So it's a quick fireball, it travels relatively fast, and from the close range, this one is really, really threatening. Like a lot of the times the opponents say, like they will knock you to the corner, and then like they're trying to jail you, like from a distance like that. If you're back to the corner with Chun-li, the heavy fireball is a great initiator, right? It's a great way to fight from the mid range, right? So you're gonna use your normals a lot, and you're gonna use a heavy fireball if they are in range. Another really cool thing about Chun-li is that the heavy fireball, it doesn't reach that far. It's just like about half screen distance. So a player like Ken here may try to go for a parry, and then like you make them whiff and then go in and punish them, etc. But in general, throw that light fireball and then use it as a shield. Now, if the opponent happen to be throwing fireballs of their own, then obviously the OD fireball have priority. It is super plus, like her OD fireball point blank is gonna be like +5 on hit. So if you're using it for a fireball trade, this is gonna be like super plus to the point where you're gonna just drive rush in and get a combo, and even sometimes just like roll level 2 after it. Like you can agent if the distance is right, if it's close enough, you can just like level 2 behind it. Obviously drive rush is gonna work out as well because it has such long hit stun that you could make it work. And if they are trying to play full screen, if they're staying real away, you pretty much can get like 2 dashes here. Granted that they don't jump, you pretty much can get like 2 dashes, especially like full screen. Right, you get 2 dashes, you're -2, now you have gained about half screen away. If they just stood there and blocked, obviously you can jump over, that's a little bit for ballsy play, but yeah, her fireballs are insane. So let's now go over what I like to call the control normals for Chun-li, the footsies normals. What do we want to do? We first said that we're gonna use the fireballs as a way to engage or bait reaction from the opponent. This is how we approach at our own terms. But that is not enough. Fireballs are just not enough for you to completely bait an opponent. You still have to control them. You still have to restrict their movement. And these normals that will allow you to do that is what I call the control normals. Starting first with crouching medium kick. Throwing out a fireball and then approaching with a crouching medium kick is extremely good, extremely safe, and extremely rewarding. Chun-li's crouching medium kick is like what I would like to call like a war crime of a normal in this game. It got pretty good range. As you can see, like the range on it is really good. It is obviously fully special cancelable, like you can go into that and obviously like drive rush cancel and get combos and everything. It got pretty decent recovery, all things considered, 28 total frames, so it's not easy to DI, and obviously it's a low with big range, and Chun-li have one of the fastest walk speeds in the game. Most crouching medium kicks in Street Fighter 6 that are cancelable are 8 frame startup or slower. Like Luke's, for example, is 8 frame startup. Chun-li is 7 frame, and Chun-li have better walk speed. So put the fireball along with that, and you have a great base for being able to restrict the movement of the opponent, right? Like they block that fireball. You throw the fireball, you block it. They maybe are thinking of trying to walk backwards. You shake them low, and now they gotta deal with that knockdown. And obviously, this is a fireball, this is a crouching medium kick in this game that is cancelable. So Chun-Li absolutely can crouching medium kick drive rush, and you crouching medium kick, drive rush into crouching jab, and that will leave Chun-Li at a +2 advantage, so you can start to throw the opponent after, apply a strike throw mix. One good thing about Chun-Li is that her drive rush has the fastest movement initially in the game. What this means is that even at tip range, even at like tip range, drive rush, crouching medium kick, drive rush, you're still gonna be in throw range. Because her initial movement, her drive rush in general is not super fast, but the initial movement is the fastest in the game. So crouching medium kick, drive rush, even at like the tip range, you're still gonna be in range to apply a strike throw mix. And obviously, like say that we will get him to block. This was all like he stood there, he blocked the fireball, and now he had to deal with my crouching medium kick. And like I said, I can stall until I have meter and then approach at my own terms. And obviously, because this leaves Chun-Li into crouching jab, this will leave Chun-Li at a +2 advantage. You can then start to like frame trap with like a standing medium punch, and that will give you combos. I'm gonna go over the basics of pressure later on, but that is pretty much the idea. Now, crouching medium kick for Chun-Li is a normal that is also deceptive in its frame data. Her crouching medium kick regularly, it seems like it's -6 on block, and that is really bad. Like, generally speaking, like Luke doesn't have a great one either, but most characters will be like -4, -5, -6 may seem bad initially, but Chun-Li have stance, and you can think of stance with Chun-Li as a special move, right? So you can set the crouching medium kick into stance, and then out of stance you have multiple options, but pretty much you can use this to interrupt the opponent if you think they're gonna try to take back their turn. So for example, I'm gonna crouching medium kick, Luke is gonna crouching medium kick. If I cancel crouching medium kick into stance light, I get to interrupt him. Although I am -6 on block, right, I get to move first, and even like the light punch, I think that will trade with crouching lights as well. Like crouching medium kick into stance light, that's gonna trade with 4 frames. So this could actually be really good because a lot of people will try to take back their turn after blocking a crouching medium kick. So it's like you can absolutely frame trap them with this. This was one of the buffs that Chun got in this patch that I think was actually like really good, right? And in this patch, they also gave Chun-Li like a quote-unquote hit confirm, where on a counter hit, like you can go into stance and then medium, and that will give you a knockdown. That could be really good. You dash up your +2, so that's really good. In general, crouching medium kick is a fantastic way to restrict the movement of the opponent. Another one that is huge for Chun-Li is her standing jab. Standing jab for Chun-Li is one of the best jabs in the game. In other respects, it's also one of the worst. But if we're talking controlling the opponent and restricting them, this is crazy. The range on it is really good. It's 4 frame startup. Again, her walk speed is really good, but it counter hit combos into her crouching medium kick. This is a 2-hit. So say that Luke is gonna block the fireball, and then he's gonna try to crouching jab. Right? I can immediately just walk in and restrict his movement with my standing jab. Oh my god. And even setting up like an auto spaced whiff punishes, right? So this is a tremendous mix. Just being able to walk forward and harass with that is absolutely crazy. That's so good. And because it counter hit combos into her crouching medium kick, this is an insane harassment tool. Like you can just walk around buffering this. Obviously, it does carry some risk because if they try to take back their turn, challenge this gap, there is a big gap here because this is -3 on block. I'm gonna talk about that in the pressure section. But yeah, this is one of the best. Like I said, control normals that Sean got. Another normal that is really important is gonna be her forward medium punch. This one have a lot of range, and this one is a mid. It have a little bit more range than her crouching medium kick. Actually kind of about the same, maybe very slightly longer, but this is a mid and this is really good. 7 frame, it's really fast. The hitbox on this is gigantic. It's also like a crazy good whiff punish in general. Like say that Luke's with this, right? You drive rush, you get the whiff punish, bam, 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 bam. That could be like really good. The shake my hands. This also is one of these moves that are special cancelable. So it's like you could go for sequences like that if you know the opponent is gonna respect. So that is really good, and you can just check with this one. It's an insane move. It also pushes Chun-li backwards a lot. So like if they blocked it and they try to take back their turn, this puts a ton of pushback. Like even if we're not talking about canceling into fireballs, the pushback on this move is actually kind of insane. Couple that with Chun-Li's like, we're gonna throw fireball, we're gonna do that, bam, auto-spaced with punish, right? This move is tremendous. The pushback on it is absurdly deceptive, right? Now in this most recent patch, they gave Chun-Li some combos that you can do. If you happen to get the punish counter here, you're +8, so you can. You can just combo into crouching medium kick if you're fast enough. I think you can even get like double of them in a row. No, you're only +6, right? You're not +8. Pretty much what I do is I go into stance. Like you can go into stance medium. It's a medium punch that gives you a knockdown. That's not bad. You can also go into like stance light, and that is special cancelable. So you are getting some good rewards here, right? Another one of the control normals that are heavily important for Chun-Li is her standing heavy punch. And standing heavy punch for Chun-Li is very rewarding if it happened to land, but also this one is the riskiest one to lose. It is 13 frame startup, so it is deceptive. It is not that fast. It does have some good pushback on it, but she also moves forward, so and it's definitely on the slower end. But what makes this really good is that if you happen to get the regular hit, going into stance medium, this now gives you like a knockdown from like a fairly good range. The move by itself is not special cancelable, but it is cancelable into stance. So that is decent, I guess. If you throw this out and you happen to get a punch, obviously it is longer than her crouching medium kick and forward medium punch. That is the appeal, right? It got more range. If you happen to hit it and you get a counter hit, you can go into stance light kick, and this will combo. This actually is a great combo. Tenshu kick, right? So that can give you a lot of damage. If you throw this out and it happened to punish counter, this also can be really good. You're gonna be +8, so it's like you get a combo into crouching medium kick. Why am I getting like the super meaty hits? It should be +6, it's not +8. You typically get a crouching medium punch. That is not typically what you get. I don't know why it said +8. Maybe I got it like at hit at like the last active frames. But you're not gonna get that often. Typically what you do is if you're up close, you get a crouching medium punch, or you can easily identify this because the hit animation, the hit spark is really special. You go into stance medium kick, right? And then spinning bird kick, and that is almost like 29% out of a whiff punish. Now, one thing that some shunners like doing is going for heavy punch into stance. I don't love it. Like all of the control normals, you can go into stance, right? But the thing about stance is that if you just try to block, there is a gap. There is a gap until you're able to block. If you're going for like crouching medium kick, it's a decently fast move. Doesn't have that much block stun, so it's like you can get away with trying to go for that sometimes. And forward medium punch got a lot of pushback, so going into stance may not be that bad as well. And again, you can just go into the light kick or the light punch and interrupt. The issue with going from the heavy is that this is really slow and the opponent can just OD uppercut. Like, especially up close, like from, like perfectly spaced like that, you are getting a punish, so that is good. But if you do it up close like that, and the idea is, oh, I'm gonna maintain my turn with a light kick or a light punch or whatever, they're pretty much guaranteed an OT uppercut, or like if they have super, that super is pretty much guaranteed. You're pretty much screwing yourself. So don't make it a habit of canceling into stance. Try to hit confirm the counter hit or the punish counter. So we talked about how we can control them with fireball, approach at our own terms, and how we can control them with normals, but what if they jump? And let's be honest, this Street Fighter 6, people are gonna try to jump at you. And Chun-li have, I wanna say, a little bit awkward, not a little bit, actually like a fair bit awkward anti-airs. Her anti-airs, they are good, but they are awkward in execution. Right? Let's get the elephant out of the room first and talk about her Tenshu kicks. Tenshu kicks is Chun-Li's uppercut, her DP, and this is like a legit anti-air uppercut. It got full air invul, so you can use it as a shoryuken, and it's a decent anti-air. The main issue with Tenshu kicks are the input, because you can't hold down and then press down again. And like see my inputs here, like I was holding down for like, now I'm holding down for like 99 frames, let go down again and kick. It doesn't work. So say that if you're in the neutral like that and you want to do it, you pretty much have to double tap down, which could be awkward. Like if you're walking back and forth in the neutral trying to bait something, pressing down can be awkward because you have to let go to the neutral and then press down. So Chun-Li gotta stand up. There is like a split second where Chun-Li is gonna have to stand up, and you can get hit, especially if like you're fighting a character like Terry or Luke. Like that could happen. Like I did the down input, but I was holding down, I returned to neutral, I double tapped down, but that moment where I stood up, I got hit. And this is pretty much like the major issue with Tenshu kick as an anti-air. And in all honesty, this is the entire reason almost that a lot of folks like to play modern Chun-Li, because you don't have to worry about that whatsoever with modern. It's a forward and special input, so it's a lot easier. But yeah, it's a good anti-air, but it's awkward in execution, and it is a fair bit less effective and much harder to get used to. The muscle memory is really weird. But with practice, you will get more reliable with it. Like it just can work like any other anti-air, where it's like any other DB, like a whiff to normal, I still get to anti-air. In that regards, it is a solid anti-air, right? It still can fail sometimes, like sometimes they will just fall out of it. That can happen. Like depending on the jump, like something like that might happen sometimes, which is unfortunate. But I was like -1 or +1 in this instance. This wasn't that big of a deal, but it could happen. However, Chun-Li still have a lot of other anti-airs that are really good. Starting with standing medium kick, and this is pretty much your panic, oh, I don't have time to Tenshu kick. It's 7 frame startup. This is a solid anti-air. It is fully special cancelable, but you kind of have to time it. It does have 4 active frames though, so this is like your easy but low reward anti-air. It's not so, like it can lose to some jumps. Again, protagonist normals can go through, but that is pretty good. But you can cancel it into stance. Like you can cancel it into drive rush. Like you can cancel it into drive rush and go for shenanigans. Like sometimes I do that. And now like I canceled into shenanigans, so that can happen, but that's really expensive. Like if I went for that, that's 3 bars. And depending on how you got it, it might be hard to go for like low overhead, but sometimes I do that. But again, that is 3 bars for this, which is not worth it, right? But it's a solid anti-air. The second one is her heavy kick. And heavy kick for Chun-Li is tremendous because this knocks down, and you can cancel it into stance, and then medium kick, and you're getting a combo. Again, there will be like a combo section at the end. This is an immensely rewarding anti-air. If you got that, you are dealing massive damage to them, and you can go into like stance loop. Again, there will be like a combo section at the end, but this is an immensely rewarding anti-air. If you happen to like walk back a lot, bait them into jump and react with this, obviously this could happen because it's not invincible, but you can get a lot of damage, right? You can get like a combo into level 1, level 3, cash out for a lot of damage. Now, Chun-Li also have 2 other anti-air options that I think are underrated. The first one is the air throw. I think air throw with Chun-Li is actually really good. It got pretty good range, it is decently fast, and it can help you a lot like when you're jumping backwards like that. So like if they're jumping from close range and you reach the jump, you can absolutely see the hitbox is gigantic. Like she like vacuums Tyrion. Air throw is a pretty good one. So one of the things that are really cool about Chun-Li's jumping medium punch is that Chun-Li also have a super, aerial super. So say that they are in the corner, they try to jump over you, they're going for like a cross up. You can jump back medium punch and then cancel into your super. So yeah, like jump back medium punch into air super. That is, I don't know if there is any other character in the game that is able to do that out of a back jump. So I think that is like a really unique option to Chun-Li as well, that I think is underrated because this did like 2600, that is like 26%. So yeah, that is certainly like very solid. So we talked about how we can throw our fireballs to initiate offense on our own terms. We talked about using normals to restrict their movement. We talked about how we can anti-air. Now it's time to talk about what happens when they throw fireballs back at us, because this is gonna happen a lot. And Chun-Li have very rewarding anti-fireball options. They're not the crazy best, but if you got the read, you can deal massive damage. Let's start first with the most obvious one, which is Hazanshu. And Hazanshu is one of Chun-Li's special moves. It's fireball, backwards, and kick. And it got 3 different versions, light, medium, heavy. Now, the light version is kind of like a mid-range fast overhead. Think of it as a move. Honestly, it's kind of like a bison scissor kick. Kinda. Like you space it well, it's -5, so that is decent. It's decently fast overhead. It will go over lows. So it's like if Ryu is fishing for a crouching medium kick, this could hop over and it gets you a knockdown, but we mostly don't use this as an anti-fireball tool. Light Hazanshu, this is strictly like a control option. Like maybe they are down backing too much and they are like really thinking a lot about your crouching medium kick. So it's like you throw this one out there every now and a while and you can get like a decent knockdown. You dash up your +2, so it's like it gives you like a good knockdown. The real anti-fireball options are gonna be the medium Hazanshu and the heavy Hazanshu. These are the ones that are like legit good. So the good thing about these moves is that they will jump over fireballs, as you can see. So this was the medium Hazanshu. You get a punish counter, so you are +6. And this is the heavy Hazanshu. You get a punish counter, you're +10. Which means that you do actually get combos, right? Like if I went for the medium Hazanshu, I get a combo into crouching medium punch. And look at this. I threw out a meterless anti-fireball special and it happened to punish counter and I got almost like 3k. That's a 30% combo. That's great. And one of the best things about these moves is that they're also like safe on block. Medium Hazanshu is -3 and they're overhead, by the way. Medium is -3 and the heavy is like -1, so they are totally safe on block. Now, one thing that you do have to keep in mind is that these moves, you use them as a prediction to the fireball, especially like the heavy Hazanshu. They're kind of a read because the anti-fireball, as you can see here, the anti-fireball invul kicks on in frame 7. So it's like it takes a while for the move to actually be immune to fireballs. So if I do it late, like say Ryu here is gonna throw the fireball and I try to do it late, see, I can get counter hit. Chun-Li hasn't initiated the jump yet, so you can get hit, right? So this is more of a read. Good players will perfect parry you if you're going for Hazanshu too much. So you gotta be careful. Especially once you get to like the higher levels, and a lot of people are gonna just neutral jump in the neutral. People do this a lot against Chun-Li in this game, where they'll just neutral jump because they expect the Hazanshu. So you can get baited. So you got to be a little bit careful of that. That actually is fairly important. Another main anti-fireball tool for Chun-Li in this game is the stance slide. So in general with Chun-Li, you don't wanna stand in stance too much. Like you don't in the neutral use stance a lot. But against fireball characters, it may not be a bad idea to stay around in stance for a little bit. Because like she can duck under fireballs, as you can see. So like just by maintaining stance, she is going under the traditional fireballs. But her slide is really fast. Like this is 6 frame startup. This is super duper fast. So if I was already in stance and he threw fireballs, I'm getting a punish counter. And this is a knockdown. You dash up, you're +2. So that is a pretty decent knockdown. Against characters like Ken, like Guile, like Akuma, etc. It's not bad to sometimes just chill in the neutral, hold stance for a little bit and see what they do. Now this move is tremendously unsafe. Like unlike Hazanshu, we're talking here -20 on block, which is insane. But because it's so fast, like you holding stance, you see fireball, this is almost like a guaranteed punish. It's so good at these, but it's not gonna go under moves like Juri's fireball or Terry's fireball. This is for the it doesn't have like fireball invul, it just goes under them, right? It actually can go under DI as well. Like if Ryu here did the DI and you was holding like stance, like you can go under the DI, so that's actually kind of funny. And the thing about stance is that you can block anyways. So it's like, even if Ryu does that, like says that he's just gonna initiate, here I can block anyway. So that's why, like I said, you can enter stance a little bit in the neutral against these guys, and it's not that bad. So that is like the main use for it. But obviously the most threatening option that Chun-Li got for fireballs is gonna be her level 2 super. This one is really good. And again, I talked about how the anti-air, the DP that you can do without having to tap down is a big reason why people use modern. This is the second main reason that people use modern, because Chun-Li is level 2. Let's actually make my meter infinite, like refill. The main reason that people use Chun-Li's level 2 is that it's an 11 frame starter move, so it's decently fast, and it goes a pretty long distance, right? All things considered, this goes about like 65 or so, like 2/3 of the screen. So it can punish fireballs, and this, again, this is a super, so it's invul on frame 1. Like you can do this even super late. I'm trying to delay it as much as possible. Yeah, like even here, like super late, but that could happen, which is one of the main issues. This is actually one of the things with Chun-Li, is like you got your anti-air, theoretically it's really good, but sometimes they drop out of it. You got your level 2, you got to go through the fireballs, but it dropped. Unfortunately, that happens. I wish Capcom would fix some of her inconsistencies, but yeah, that stuff happened. But still, this is a good enough anti-fireball option that you got to use. I think like this is one of the main things that once Chun-Li got level 2 in the neutral, they have to be very careful about throwing fireballs, and it's one of these things where you will need to practice a little bit to react to fireballs with her level 2 super. If you got that down, you're gonna be extremely threatening, right? Now, there is a lot of options on what you can do after her level 2 super, and I actually got a combo section at the end. dedicated to her level 2 super and the different follow-ups that you could do, but potentially it is one of the most rewarding options. There are two other ones that I want to highlight quickly. The first one is the OD Hazanshu, and OD Hazanshu is similar to the medium and heavy, but it is faster. Right, the thing about it is that it is faster. Now it is more unsafe on blocks, so you got to keep that in mind, but it is faster. So it's like if he's throwing fireballs, you can use that a little bit later. It's still like the same 6 frame or so invul, but the move itself comes out a little bit faster, so it's a little bit more useful here. You do get a juggle, small juggle at this instant. Typically you're going for uppercut, or you're going like for light, so heavy uppercut, or we're going for like light spinning bird kick. That's also not a bad option if you want as Oki and corner carry. So that's a decent option. I want to show you one other one which is important in some matchups, especially against characters like Juri and Terry. The characters that got like slide like very low to the ground fireballs, you can use Chun-li's forward heavy kick. Right, so we got Juri, she's gonna store and then she's gonna throw the fireball. I'm talking about this move, her forward heavy kick. Against these characters, this move is really good. Like you get a punish counter, you get a knockdown, you get to drop them down. Against like Terry's light fireball, against Juri, this move could actually be like really good as well. So now it's time to talk about offense and pressure, and I'm gonna be honest, I think Chun-li's pressure game in Street Fighter 6 is a little bit weird compared to how many of the other characters operate. This is mostly because of the frame data and stuff, but let's get into it. So Chun-li actually have a plus on block move, don't attack now, Cammy, which is her standing medium punch. Her standing medium punch, that is +1 on block, and it's 5 frame startup. So that is really good, because this means that it will actually trade, like we're gonna get a trade if we did it again, but unlike Sagat, that will get like 3000 standing medium punches if you're blocking, there's a ton of pushback on Chun-li's where a second standing medium doesn't naturally connect. So as you can see, it doesn't naturally connect. And because it's only +1, if you try to check with a crouching medium punch after, you're gonna get jabbed, right? Because crouching medium is 6 frames, we are only +1, so a 4 frame jab will beat us. But this is still +1 on block, and we talked about how Chun-li have a long range standing jab. So you are gonna get the counter hit on the standing jab, it's gonna leave you at a +7, so you are getting a conversion into crouching medium kick, into knockdown. So in that sense, this is good. However, the issue here is that this situation is a little bit awkward, and the reason that this is awkward is because Chun-li's jab is -3 on block. -3 on block on his jab is really bad for 2 main reasons. The first one is that it's hard for her to trap like a jab into medium, like how many of the other characters are able to, but because this leaves you at a -3 frame disadvantage, it is gonna be very hard to jab and back walk out of the retaliation. Right, so say for example we got Cammy, so a lot of characters in this game like Cammy, she can do like 3 jabs, right, and then like walk back and try to bait a whiff punish, right? It's gonna push her back a little bit, so she walks back and she gets like a whiff punish. A character like Ed or Ryu can cancel into specials, etc. The issue with Chun-li is that because the jab is -3, say that Cammy is gonna block 3 lights and then take back her turn, you are always getting shagged with the crouching medium kick. Right, like you can't back walk out of that crouching medium kick. You're gonna have to take it, and because you gonna have to take it, this crouching medium kick could be cancelled into a drive rush, into a conversion, or into pressure. You have to commit to like a movement option or an option generally to be able to escape from the retaliation. So it's like 3 jabs and then backdash. But now you have completely returned to the neutral, which in Chun-li's case is not that bad, but yeah, or maybe like you back jump or whatever, like you have to get out of there. See what I'm saying? This is kind of like one of the main issues with her. Another thing with Chun-Li, which is really bad, is I talked about how, like even in the neutral, how advantageous like jab into crouching medium kick is. The issue is that this is -3 and this is 7 frames, so this is a 10 frame gap. It is not uncommon for shunners to just bait for this, even in block strings, right? And again, because like you may jab and then grab them, you may jab and then expect them to walk backward, so you're going for a crouching medium kick. This will always have gaps even for other characters, but it is especially bad on Chun-Li because you're just gonna get hit in the face. Like if you try to go for that, you're getting interrupted. Like there are matchups like Jamie who will throw a standing heavy punch every time you press your jab. Like people are conditioned to mash every time Chun-Li just presses jab. So does this mean that she doesn't have any options? Actually, she does. Let's go back to the example of me going for standing medium punch into standing jab, right? So we talked about how this will frame trap them if they try to interrupt, which that is what's gonna happen. But again, we are in that situation where I can't back walk out of the crouching medium kick retaliation and I'm gonna have to take it. The thing is, this jab have such a good headbox that you can actually mash it again, it will chain into itself and you are getting a conversion. And because your crouching medium kick is so long, you are still getting the conversion. Right, so that actually is pretty great. So it just like all of the other jabs, it will frame trap into itself. I guess I should have shown that first, but yeah, like all of the other jabs, it will frame trap into itself. Right, and obviously like you can drive rush cancel it and get some pretty decent knockdowns. So there is that, right? But the issue with throwing that second jab is that it will whiff. So you're whiffing on your interface, depending on their button timing, you might get punish countered as well. So it does carry some risk. So she does have some options, but Chun-Li's traditional pressure is not super strong. Like it requires you to be a little bit ballsy and be a little bit predictive. She is not an M. Bison, she's not a Ryu, she's not a Terry, she is not a Cammy, she's not one of the characters that have insane stagger pressure, but it is certainly easier to like challenge her on offense, but you can still make the read on their guess and go for an offensive action. For example, we talked about the 3 jabs. Like you can cancel the chair jab into fireball and you will have no idea how often I connect with this one, because especially like the heavy fireball, you can't really throw the light because people will try to challenge. Like after the 3 jabs, especially like they will try to challenge, so the fireball will frame trap them and you get away with that all the time, right? People typically don't wait for her. They know that jab, so they wanna take back their turn, so they get hit by the fireball. Get used into the habit of charging while using that light punch, because people are gonna try to challenge. So canceling into like the heavy fireball is a good option. And the good thing about fireball is that even up close, it's not that bad. Like a cancel like that, which is like typically this is what you're gonna be doing: jab into fireball. You're gonna talk him -3, -1. You're safe, pretty much, right? So that is good. The thing about Chun-Li as well is that she doesn't have a corner throw loop. Say that we got them to the corner, we finally got them, we finally did what we wanted, we happened to get them to the corner, now it's time to Street Fighter 6 them. Chun-Li does not actually have a throw loop. Like if Cammy is waking up with a light punch, I can't walk forward and throw her, and she doesn't even have like a drive rush throw loop. It's not gonna work out that way. She's always gonna be able to jab on wake up. But you do get a check, right, which is important. Like I can for example go for like a crouching heavy punch, and if I got the counter hit here, that is huge. Like I'm getting massive damage on the Cammy, so that actually is pretty good. You can slightly walk forward into medium punch. How's it read? Right, so that is not bad. You're gonna be +8, so you're getting a crouching medium kick. Right, so again, you are getting a conversion, that's good, but you don't get like the typical standard auto time Street Fighter 6. You get a situation. It's not like a crazy good situation, but you don't get a situation, and they will have to respect you. And the good thing say like about that, like a move like Chun-li's heavy punch, like I showed you, is that this one is still safe on block anyways, like you're -3, obviously giving up your turn, but you know, I mean, that's not too bad, right? There's still decent pushback, etc. So you do get a situation. Now, most of the times where Chun-li is gonna be able to be really threatening is in the neutral, like I said, with crouching medium kick confirms and everything, but it's the knockdown game. It's when you knock them down and then you go for offense, and that is mostly because of the stance and also because of the bogo kick, which is this one, right? This is where I think Chun-li really shines, because when you happen to knock them down, because people know that your offense isn't super threatening, there is a very, like, just blocking, there is a very good chance that you're gonna try to throw them. And I just disconnected my controller. You wanna throw people a lot with Chun-li. You wanna condition them to the fact that I'm gonna grab you, because why would I go for a crouching medium punch or like standing medium punch if I know that the situation on block isn't super great? So I'm just gonna grab you. And once you established a throw game, you can establish a shimmy game. And Chun-li got some really good shimmy options. Shimmy, if you don't know, is you pretty much make their throw whiff. Like I drop him down, she whiffs grab, and then I pretty much make her like whiff the grab and then get a punish. So she does have great options here. One of the ones that I really like is crouching heavy punch. This is great for like shimmy options, because you are getting like counter hit conversions into stance, and it can be very damaging, but it is slow. This is 11 frames. Standing medium, crouching medium punch will do the same job, but it's faster. Right, so you're getting pretty much like the same kind of conversion. This was still 2900 almost, so that's still good damage for 2 bars, but this is really fast. So like on a knockdown like that, that is potentially like really good. Another thing you can do is go for Hazanshu, and Hazanshu also throw baits, and especially in the corner, this is really good. Going for that on their wake up, because they are trying to throw tech, because again they know that you are going for throws a lot. Go for a lot of throws on Chun-li. You get the Hazanshu, you're getting the +10, and now you're getting like massive damage. Right, that's almost like 40% on this combo. Not bad, not bad. That seems pretty good. You can go for I think you just be like alternating between throws or going for shimmies on wake up with the occasional like pressure. I honestly think this is a winning formula, but there is a lot of knockdowns that Chun-li got. I think one of the strongest things about her is her corner carry. You want to go into the bogo kick setups. And what is a bogo kick setup? It's pretty much the situation where let her actually block on wake up. Another extra block. It's a situation where like you will knock them down and then you get this going, where it's like you are going for the down medium kick, the aerial down medium kick, bam, bam, and this can be like really hard for them to do. Typically, to go for these sort of knockdowns, you need to go for this sort of sequence, you need knockdowns that are 45 frames or better, and there are a couple of canned ones that I recommend you go for. For example, like heavy lightning legs into light lightning legs, especially in the corner. This is mostly like corner pressure is where like you're gonna be able to set this up. So this leaves you at, this should be a +45 actually, right? Yeah. So this leaves you at +45, which means that say that she's gonna block after the first hit. Like at +45, you can get this sort of offense going. And this is a fake safe jump. because if they try to wake up with an uppercut, you actually do get hit. Like she is light uppercut, like 5-frame uppercut, you are getting hit. But the good thing about this is that if I did empty jump, I am getting the punish, right? So I'm getting the big damage here if I happen to get the empty jump, right? And yeah, that was a lot of damage, so that is good. Another setup that is very good, but this one is real, is OD spinning bird kick into medium kick lightning legs. This is gonna give you like plus 47, and at this time plus 47 you can go for the bogo kick, and it's gonna be like a legit safe jump. Like she's gonna go for that. I delayed it a little bit. Oh my god, no. Yeah. Bam, 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 bam. I don't know why I was delaying it a little bit. But yeah, like at plus 47 you do get a real one. If this happens to hit, you are getting like a legit jumping. Right, so that was like plus 6. I landed on plus 6 in a perfect position to go for a shimmy or whatever. So that one can actually like be really good. And obviously just after any of the knockdowns where you go for this, right? If you gotten the plus 47 or whatever, that's good. Typically for these sort of launches, if you want to get the plus 46, plus 47 for the real bogo kick knockdowns, you do like an early stomp and then wait a little bit until they're about to fall, and then go for the second one and then like the heavy punch. So it is an early stomp, delay until they are just about to hit the ground, go for the second stomp, and then the heavy. Right, this is a timing for getting like the safe jump, like the real safe jump on these bogo kicks. But I don't recommend going for these manual ones. Go for the canned knockdowns ones that I just talked about, and for general other offense, just keep it real. Right now, I talked about how the bogo kicks, like I said, is a great source of mix-ups and pressuring the opponent on knockdowns. But one other one that is really good is the stance, because one of the things about Chun-li is that like you can get any knockdown with a heavy kick Tenchu, which this is a common knockdown, by the way. So bam 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 bam, there's a lot of combos that you can end like this one. You can go here for like light lightning legs into heavy Tenchu. This is common, like this happens a lot. Like you get that plus 35 frames a lot. And you can go into stance here with meaty overhead, and that is gonna be real. Like she's gonna wake up with a jab, right? Right, so she's waking up with a jab, lightning legs, Tenchu kick. Stance here is a stance overhead, and the stance overhead is hit confirmable, by the way. It's like because it's double hitting, so it's like you can hit confirm this. Actually, let me go to this other side, so it's like you can see it better. Yeah, this is a real meaty. Like if she's trying to wake up, this is a real meaty. Light kick, Tenchu kick. So you can go for that, which is a real meaty, and that's really cool. And obviously when they start respecting that, when they start respecting that overhead, you can go for one thing that you will see a lot of Chun players do is they'll go for the stance on stance. Right, that's pretty much the idea. It's like they go for the stance because they know that everyone's gonna expect the overhead, so they stance, unstance, and then grab. So this is one of the things that you can go for. Now, stance, unstance typically is this is if you do it like the fastest, it's gonna be like plus, it's gonna be 37, right? I think it's 30. I think you can get 37. I'm not super good at doing it on the right side, but you do get a plus 37 here. Yeah, so it's like 37. So you can go low as well because like the last 4 frames can be cancelled. See, so you do actually go for the Tenchu kick, and then you got the light option or the low option. So after after this Tenshu kick, you do get like, after this Tenshu kick knockdown, you do get stands into low, into overhead. Both of them will give you combos, and obviously you can go for the throw as well. So that is like a very advantageous situations. So she doesn't get that traditional plus frame knockdown offense that is super common, but you know what is there is still decent. And obviously Chun-li still got a lot of like drive rush cancel options that can be pretty grimy. like obviously she does have the crouching medium kick drive rush, which you want to drive rush to crouching light punch. This one is gonna give you like +2 advantage, so you do actually get like a frame trap into standing medium punch, or you can just go for the throw, which is not bad. You can even obviously like delay and go for a back heavy punch. And I kind of love this trade because at like +14 you get a standing heavy kick, right? And obviously that can be cancelled into stands. I very rarely go for this one, but when it works, it's actually kind of hilarious because you are getting a lot of damage, right? So that's like 40% on this trade, so that is not bad. Obviously, like you can go for a crouching medium punch, and that will frame trap as well, so that's not bad. There are many things you can do, and a lot of people will try to delay tech, right? So in a situation like that, they're gonna try to delay tech. So let's say that she's gonna delay by like 10 frames or so. So it's like you can go for a forward heavy kick off of this drive rush, and you're gonna be plus enough to get like a knockdown. Obviously you can cancel into stance, and this gives you like a knockdown as well. If they delay even more, which happens, like you can even go for a throw. That's too much delay. I want to get it in a situation where, yeah, that happened. I mean, you can also go for that, which is a little bit grimy, and that drive rush forward heavy kick is gonna be still 0, so it's not too bad. So she does have some on-block situations, but certainly knockdowns is where Chun-li like really shines. One quick thing I want to add before I move into defense is obviously the stance overhead and just drive rush overheads, even in block strings, they are never like true, but you can use them if you know that the opponent is afraid of them. Like for example, obviously Chun-li have an overhead, and you can just knock them down and then drive rush overhead. Like I'm gonna knock my down and then I'm gonna drive rush into overhead, or just like even like throw a fireball and then like drive rush into an overhead. And if you happen to get the drive rush overhead, it's gonna be +6 on hit, which means that she does actually get a bread and butter combo. I think she gets one of the better like drive rush overhead conversions, because she gets like a standing medium punch, crouching medium punch, so you're getting like full BMB. And that is like 2.8 to K, that's like 28%, 29, so that's actually pretty good. And obviously you can just like go for crouching medium kick, enter stance, and then go for overheads, or like go for resets into overheads. So it's like I'm going for that, bam bam, or one of her traditional combos where like you go for drive rush standing medium into the back heavy, and typically from the back heavy you go into like stance light kick. Again, there will be like a combo section at the end, but maybe you will be sneaky and you will throw, instead of going for the light, you're gonna throw an overhead instead, right? And again, because this is double hitting, you can kind of hit confirm it, and you can get some pretty good rewards out of that. So maybe you're going for that sort of sequence. Again, it's not traditional Street Fighter 6 offense. It's a lot of like gotcha moment and knockdown Oki, right? So figured I have to talk about it since I didn't. Now let's go over the defense, because just like I talked about offense, she does have a lot of unorthodox options. Let's first talk about like the wake up reversal, and obviously Chun-li's wake up reversal is gonna be her Tenshu kick, the OD version. the down down input. This is a true reversal, and it is a decent enough reversal. Because it's down down as well, like you can kind of mash it easier, I think. So that is, I think, for a reversal input, this one is not too bad. It's certainly like better as a reversal than it is as an anti-air, but it is her main reversal option. She also got level 1, level 2, level 3. All of them are invul on startup, so they are all like decent reversal options. Now, how about if the opponent is, they're going for strings? They're going for strings. We talked about how her jab is tremendous. So if they're going for block strings, this is a great way to shake them. Right? Her jab, her 4-framer, got a lot of range. You're getting the counter hit conversion into crouching medium kick, which means that you're getting good knockdown. Right? I can go low here and I still get the combo. Bam, 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 bam. Tinshu kick. Right? So the standing jab is a tremendous like interruption tool, because standing jab, crouching medium kick is a fantastic string. Right? So if you think they are trying to approach you, but they do have a gap, that is an option, right? One thing about Chun-li is that her backdash is slow. So it's like 25 frame backdash, which means that if the opponent happen to throw loop you and you backdash away, like you try to evade the second throw by backdashing. So let her throw me. Come on, Mai. Right, so if you happen to backdash, I was a little bit delayed here, but you don't get a punish. Many of the other characters would be like +4 in the situation, so they would get a punish. You don't get that with Chun-li, but Chun-li does have an option for that, and that is insta air licks. Right, you go for the air and then you do air licks. I don't love air licks as a pressure tool in Street Fighter 6. I know that in Street Fighter 6, I know that there are players who will use this as an offensive anti-air bait, right? Like you knock them down, they wake up with a grab, and then you go for air licks. Oh, we need to do that on wake up. Like some players will do that because you do get a conversion. Like if you happen to hit them with a punish counter air licks, you are getting a conversion. So that is good. I don't like that on offense because if Mai is ducking, this goes over their head and you're whiffing like 44 frame move in their face. So it's like, it's really slow, it's easily punishable. A lot of people duck anyway. Their default to block is duck down back. So I don't like using this offensively. If I wanna go for like a shimmy, I will just down back into crouching medium, or maybe even like throw Hazanshu in the corner. But I don't like using air legs as an offensive throw bait. But anyways, it is there, it is an option. This, however, is much better on defense because on defense, insta air legs could actually be like very, very rewarding. So you pretty much hold up and then do air legs. You get a punish counter, you get a knockdown, right? As far as like a anti-throw option goes, this one is fairly strong, it's fairly threatening, and along with her reversal option, DPS and all of that, this is good. If you want to use air legs, this is by far like the best ways of using it, but obviously defense isn't just about them being right on top of you. Sometimes you have to be able to stop their approach, and I think Chun-li's crouching medium punch is absolutely one of the best ways in the game to check drive rush, because people are just gonna be drive rushing at you. This is Street Fighter 6 after all, right? And her crouching medium punch is really great at that. This move is 6 frame startup. As you can see, it's 4 frame active, which is really good. And the recovery is not very long. So even if they're going for like I'm gonna stop my momentum and I'm gonna throw bait, that sort of move, it is one of the better crouching medium punches in the game at not getting baited. I know it just got baited, but as far as crouching medium punch goes, it truly is one of the better ones in the game, and it can be rewarding because it can be buffered into like heavy spinning bird kick. You are getting pretty good knockdown, and obviously like you can like if you happen to get the hit, you can just go into stance as well, and you're gonna get the stance follow up. right? So you can go into stance light, into the conversion, so you can give yourself a little bit more of a leeway into interrupting. Now obviously it's drive rush, it's 3 and more often than not you want to have at least like a fireball on the screen to dissuade them from drive rushing. But if they're drive rushing at you, this is absolutely one of your better checks. Now let's talk about some of the important things that you need to know with Chun-Li when it comes to punishing, right? Because punishes with her are also like one of the main ways that you get to get damage, to get like damage on the table, right? Say that Mai is doing something like this, which is like heavy punch into fail, right? This is -7, so that is actually that's pretty good, but it can be hard to have a normal that reach. One of the unique things about Chun-Li is that she got like a light kick lightning legs, and her light kick lightning legs will actually knock down. You get double dash into Oki, so that actually is very solid. Like oh my god, I don't know why ever since the last update the controller does disconnect a lot. So you double dash, you actually get like plus, I think you can be up to +5, but I kind of messed up. So you do actually get knockdown advantage. That is fairly solid. We talked about how you can use her jab, which have a lot of range. Like I guess this is not so much pushback, but yeah, that should be able to punish stuff like that. So obviously you go into like crouching medium kick because that's gonna be like a really good and reliable punish. There are characters that are common, like for example Ryu, and one of the common things that Ryu like to do is just like heavy punch into donkey kick, right? And just like her light legs, Chun-Li's OD legs also is a punish, right? And it's punish counter, and if it happens to get a punish counter, it knocks them down, right? So you get this crumble state knockdown. You can go for a back heavy punch, and that will be like an immediate punish. Typically, like you punish it for something like this. She actually is one of the better characters in the game at punishing this donkey kick. Like you are getting mostly like combo like that, which is not bad. Like that sort of a punish is really good. And obviously you can go for like a crouching medium kick, you can go for a forward medium punch. Like she is one of the characters with some of the longer range mediums in the game, so you're gonna have to lab your punishes a little bit, know what you can do, but she certainly can get good damage out of them.